now let's go to the next one. And the next topic has also to do with Stability AI, and that is stable video. So stable video is another model coming from the same company in this case, right? From Stability AI. And that one is able to generate videos. And John, I know we already had a stream about video from AI, and you did music videos already and stuff like that, and you experimented with different platforms and models already. So how do you see the development of AI video at the moment?
So, it's going in two directions, basically. In one direction is video that very much mimics that shot by a video camera in that it's sharp. You can enhance it by adding styles to it, but it's smooth, and any kind of camera movement is smooth. And then there's the school that believes that video that's morphing and but to me, and this is where I think stable video comes in, is that it produces beautiful video. And other companies that are in that space right now are Pika Labs, and last night I went to the Pika Labs onboarding for the new version, and they're doing some amazing things. But any company that can produce stable video, and I think that's, that should be in quotation marks, because the video, I mean, this is something that's an opinion of mine, right? There's people out there that like certain things, and I can't argue with what you like, but to me, if the video is shaking and shimmering and morphing,
right,
it just takes away from it. The beauty is the visual to me.
So sometimes
here's one.
It's really amazing. I don't know. I think it can be amazing.
Well, no, it can be amazing, but it can't just be. That's what this video. That's why this video is called video, because it's shaking and like slowly moving, transitioning into nothing. There's no cohesion even. And weird shit happens, and
but you can do some really cool transitions with this morphing stuff. That in my opinion, I think some of the transitions are really cool.
Yeah, but you could then use, Premiere has a transition that you can just drag onto two clips and it will do morphing automatically.
For example.
So, why, to me, I want to have a script, and I want to be able to, and I've already actually written a couple of T's for this, that it'll create a script and it'll create image prompts of cohesive, steady video. So if it's zooming in, it needs to be steady. If it's, doing a follow shot, it needs to be steady, and it needs to be cohesive. So I need to be able to have, the same person in that shot overall. Yes. So, and it's getting there. It really is getting here. And to me, stable video, I think the big advantage here is that, test it on Hugging Space if you want. But the plan is that you're going to be able to run this locally, although you're going to need some horsepower to do it.
Exactly. That's what I have to explain now again, technically. Well, it's again about the topic, well, how much power do you need to run it? And on stable video, it's really like you need a lot of power to run it. This is at the point where, at the moment, most people will not be able to run this, because I think there is a version where people said we can run it with 24 gigabytes of VRAM. And that means RAM that is on your GPU, on your graphics board. And not too many GPUs have 24 gigs, and it's the border, the minimum, right? So the big professional cards, they have 40 gigabytes, 80 gigabytes, but those cost $16,000, whatever. You probably don't have that at home to play Sims. I don't. So in that case, really stable video is something at the moment that you probably have to use via a platform like Hugging Face, as John said already. there you can try it. And I tried it, for example, and it was impressive because, as you say, the consistency of the image, the old versions that we already had in the last months of AI video, they were not consistent at all. Like every frame, something changed drastically. And as you said, it could happen that a character, a person was in a room and then he just jumped out and came back. So you cannot tell a story with that. Now it is quite really stable and really consistent. And I tried, for example, a prompt like, a lion is playing cards with a wild pig. Okay, that's a little bit hard, I have to say. So it was.
Okay.
It was consistent, but not as I thought. So the lion was transformed into a human being with a hand laying down cards, and then it went back into a lion. It was interesting how it was integrated. But okay, well, it was a test, right? And but those figures, those characters were quite consistent for a while. It was not wild jumping around or stuff like that. Again, it's amazing when we think about that. The last time you talked about this is 5 months ago. John, when did you do your music video? 5 months, something?
Yeah, but I mean, it's interesting you bring that up because even, I think I probably said it then and I'll say it again now. And, that is that these tools have evolved so fast that what I did then was, and there's some people that look back, and I totally disagree with this as well. Looking back at something that was, in my opinion, if you, I mean, it was great, I think, at the time, right? But looking back at it in any way, shape, and form is wrong because it's just, it
very
was experimental.
Very interesting to see that we're like only five months later, and it's like we're talking about it like it's obsolete. Like it's obsolete is interesting.
I think it is. There's people that don't, I will say that, but I think it's like it was an example of technology at the time, right? And right now, like with Moon River, I believe it is Moon Valley, I think. Sorry, I get mixed up. But Pika, definitely. I mean, Pika is, one of the things that they did, for example, the UI is beautiful. It's really nice. It's a web-based UI. And they are enabling you to, so the example that they used was they created this little raccoon, right? So an animated raccoon. But they then were able to select the raccoon, right? And then add additional prompts to say, okay, the raccoon is now standing on, the edge of a mountain cliff or whatever. And keep building on that until, you had the same raccoon now, kind of in different environments. And it was, really interesting. So we're seeing, I mean, like Altman said at the GPT developers conference, we're going to look back in a year at all of this and think it's very quaint. And maybe that's quaint is probably a good word to describe it. Yeah. It's just really mind-blowing. I mean, in terms of, and that to me, and I think, we'll get into this when Eric talks about Hollywood, is that, if one can ultimately have a script where you have, and going back to your earlier comment, I mean, it's interesting how we all think in terms of, I guess, our own reality. I'm not thinking about strange things like, I don't know. But I mean, I would think of, a person walking down the street and getting into a taxi cab or something like that, nothing like a lion becoming pumpkin or whatever.
But it was a hard
no, but I think it's interesting how each one of us has a different conception of things, and
definitely.
So, but the moment we can do that, and then we have another prompt that says, okay, the woman is talking to the taxi driver, and that comes out, same woman. Woman gets out of the taxi cab, same woman. As soon as we can do that with consistency, it blows away, I think, the whole structure of what we know as film today.
I guess so,
Because
yeah. I guess so.